that season, man, that season, I was just like, we can do it now. We can do it. As a Liverpool fan, you don't talk trash just because Liverpool are going to lose somewhere along the way and they're going to make you look bad. This was probably the first season I ever trash talked as a Liverpool fan. I was just like, Suarez is going to do it. Sturridge is going to do it. Sterling, Coutinho. I was even like, yeah, John Flanagan is going to be like in the Ballon d'Or for the best fullback. I was just like, nothing can go wrong now. And then when we beat City with a Coutinho last minute goal, I'm just like, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? Nothing can stop us. We got Chelsea at home. Then we had Crystal Palace, which is another story in itself. And then we had some bum team at the end. So come the Chelsea day, I remember that I was there, like, in my Liverpool kit and everything, and just seeing it. And I wasn't actually watching the game at the time. I was following it on my live stream. And then when the news starts coming in, I'm just like, I can't believe it. I'm just like, surely there's got to be some sort of typo here. Surely, I can't believe, what I'm reading can't have actually happened. That Gerrard slipped in the middle of the pitch, and then Demba Ba just come and race through. I'm just like, I didn't watch football for like 4 months. I didn't watch the highlights of that game for about another 2 months after that. I didn't. It was only until, like, say the game happened in May. I only watched the highlights in August of that game. It took me that long to like come to terms with everything that, and then I started crying again. I was just like, for it to be Steven Gerrard as well. Like, if it was Martin Skirtle or Daniel Agger, nobody really cared. But for it to be Steven Gerrard, the captain who never lifted the Premier League trophy, for it to be him of all places, after he did the we can't slip team talk
Can't let it
against
slip.
well, for it to be Steven Gerrard, and he has to live with that for the rest of his life. Like, he can't, even if he comes back as a manager, does Invincibles or wins 38 games, that can't erase the slip.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Whipping It In podcast, the podcast you didn't ask for. And look who we got. We got a special guest, Mr. Michael, Mr. Magic Mike. I won't say the other nickname, but you guys can influence that.
Yeah, so today we're going to be discussing top 10 Premier League gaffes. Now, we're looking at highly embarrassing moments that they can be career defining. They don't have to be really important in terms of, like, it predicts title outcomes, although if that does happen, that just adds to the embarrassing level. But we're just talking about, like, really, really awful things that happen to a player's career. And if social media was as big as it is now back then, it would have been memed the hell out of it. So we're going for that kind of range there. And yeah, so why doesn't our guest Mike kick us off with 10 to 6, please? So 10 to 6.
10 to 6, okay. We're doing it live, lads. All right, so my number 10 is a fairly recent one, happened this season before, Corona decided that they didn't want to see Liverpool win the league. So I'm going to paint the picture for you. Stamford Bridge, late night, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Arsenal a man down. Chelsea scored, and then Arsenal got a corner, yeah? No, Chelsea have a corner, actually. We take the corner, and then Arsenal start breaking. And somehow Martinelli finds himself, like, with the whole pitch ahead of him and just can't say to stop him. So as it gets to Kante, I'm thinking, no stress, Kante's got this. But then Kante slips. And right as he's slipping, you see him trying to, like, just reach out and grab Martinelli's leg. But Martinelli's not having it. Zooms past him. Kepa's never going to save anything, so there we go, 1-1 rather. So that was quite disappointing. But you know what? I feel like slips are going to be sort of a team today, so it seemed like an appropriate way to start out.
I mean, everybody kind of knows what one is going to be, but we'll get there when we get there.
Number 9 for me was Suarez, because, Liverpool-Chelsea, decent day. And then Suarez and Ivanovic have been having a go all through the game. And then, boom, Suarez out of nowhere just decides to have a little bit of a nibble on Ivanovic. Came out of nowhere, which is so hilarious, really. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a gaffe, but I feel like just I'm not sure what goes through your mind as a sports person to go, yeah, you know what? I think I should just have a bite at this guy and see what happens in it. Like, see what it leads to. The amazing thing is how he stayed on the pitch, to be honest. But you know what? That's a story for another day. So my number 8 is the whole debacle with John Terry and Wayne Bridge. Off the pitch, but I feel like that was a bit of a gaffe still. Basically, for those who don't know the story, it's alleged, because, you know, but
Let's use the
it's
correct terms, yeah.
that John Terry had relations with Wayne Bridges, I believe, either girlfriend or wife at the time. And as teammates, that's a big no-no. As men, really, it's a big no-no. But yeah, like it wasn't taken very well. Didn't end very amicably. Bridge ended up moving to City, and John Terry still has a reputation of being the guy that you don't want to leave around with your girlfriend or wife. So, not really a reputation you want, but it does make for great bands and a great gaff. Number 7 would be Mourinho, at his time second coming at Chelsea, and deciding that our young crop of talents, and I'm talking Lukaku, Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, that like none of them were good enough, and we're just gonna sell them off and gonna have probably like 500 million worth of talents, and leave Chelsea in a situation where we haven't had any good strikers, Baron Costa since then. I'm not bitter. Not bitter at all. Then number 6 would be the infamous game, Liverpool versus Sunderland, where Darren Bent scores with the ball coming off a beach ball. So I believe it was an equalizer at the time. Darren Bent, cross comes in, takes the touch. There's just a random beach ball just cooling on the pitch right in front of Pepe Reina. He smacks a shot, and the cannons of the beach ball goes into the net. Reina doesn't know what's happening. No one knows what's happening, but it went in, and it was beautiful. I feel like if there were memes at the time, the memes would have been so lit that it would be ridiculous. So that should be my first 6. Really excited to see where you guys go with this.
For number 10, I've got Chris Kamahara from Sky Sports, like his commentary. So if you look up like top 10 Chris Kamahara like highlights, you see a lot of like funny stuff. Like he does always like, I think if you want to like watch highlights, stuff like that, like Chris Kamahara is like his gaffes on about football, like he misses stuff on the highlights. So I put that as number 10, so because I was around football as well. So that was quite funny as well, man. So at number 9, as a Liverpool fan, this might be my bit biased, but I put Gerrard as the slip at number 9. So I understand. I played a bit of football myself. I understand like how horrific of a situation it can be, man. When you got last man defending and then you just slip up, man. And then the other opponent striker just comes out running past you, man. It happened to me, and that's why I put it at number 9, man. That's the worst feeling in the world.
Didn't you give away a penalty when we played football in that 11-a-side match?
Yeah, I gave away a penalty, I think. Yeah, handballed it by accident, man. I was blocking myself and then handballed it, man. And then that's number 9. And number 8, I love a bit of Almunia, man. Manuel Almunia, put him in the YouTube highlights. Almunia, he's got, what do they call it? So like you got rubber hands, so like everything just goes through his hands.
Butterfingers, isn't it?
Butterfingers, that's it.
Yeah. So the ball just keeps going through his fingers, man. Yeah, that's number 8. So if you want to like goalkeeping errors, just look at Manuel Almunia, man, for Arsenal, especially for Arsenal. Number 7, I got Torres versus De Gea. So when Torres, he did the hard part, he went around De Gea, and then he had an open goal, and then bang, wide the post, man. He did the hard bit. All he had to do was score, man. I think Jamie Carragher said like he couldn't believe it. Like Liverpool got 50 million from Chelsea. He just couldn't believe it, man. It's not a good time for Torres. And then number 6 was, I think it's Gareth Bale. So when he did the own goal against Liverpool, where he kicked it. No, I think it's this one where he kicked the ball. He was going to clear the ball from a corner, and then it hit the opponent in front of him, and it bounced back in. Oh man, that was yeah.
Smacks his face in it, and then went in.
Yeah,
Yeah. Lennon smashed it into Bale's face, and then it went in.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, that's never something you want to happen to you on the pitch. Like, you just get the ball smacked into your face, but then scoring an own goal from that as well, I feel would be like a misery compile, or just like adding on misery on misery. I mean, but it's Tottenham though, so they probably deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But Bale as well, the most expensive player.
Number 10, Paul Robinson versus Watford. So, like, you hardly see goalkeepers score goals, in it. And when you see, like, the goalkeeper box around that area, a little bit out, and him to score against Watford and the ball bouncing, like, it's so hilarious. And it's not just, there's so many mistakes in Paul Robinson. Wasn't he the guy that, when he was the back pass and it went through his legs against Croatia, wasn't it? And then he miskicked it and the ball bobbled and he went in. So, like, he's a lot of mistakes. And
Legendary moments.
That's it. Then I put the famous beach volleyball. You can't forget that. That's like huge deflection out of nowhere, like, and then you can see Pepe Reina's like, everyone's confused. What's going on? Is the referee going to help? And then it went in. So that's number 9. I put Perez and Thierry Henry penalty mess. So it was where Perez was about to take the penalty, and I think they were going to do the Messi Suarez thing, but before Messi Suarez made it an actual thing, but he miskicked it, and
it was hilarious. I think his legs, like, they just forgot how to work for like a second or two. That's all it took.
Yeah, and then the ref gave a free kick the other end. So that's my number 8. I thought Mike Dean needs an honourable mention. This guy's like one of the best refs in the Premier League. He makes things happen, man. His celebration when Tottenham scored, it's hilarious. He's a funny character, and there's so many moments with Mike Dean. It's not just him doing that, but like when players try grabbing him, he's like, you know, it's a funny reaction how he does things. It's really good. And then my number 6, actually, this is an interesting one. Mourinho fights Wenger. Like,
that was legendary.
Touchline when managers fight each other, and for that, I think it was the week. I can't remember exactly when he called him a specialist in failure, and then it was all like building up, and then Wenger, Mourinho must have said a few more things on the touchline, and Wenger got a bit sensitive, and then it all kicked off, man. It was like Royal Rumble Part 3 or something, man. That's my top 10 to 6.
My number 10 is similar to yours. It's just a little bit more expanded. So it's anytime a goalkeeper scores against another goalkeeper. So there's been 5 times in the Premier League where a goalkeeper scored. Twice is under sort of like normal attacking circumstances. So it's like a last minute corner. Peter Schmeichel and Brad Friedel both scored from like last minute corners. But the ones I call gaffes are like the Paul Robinson goals, where it's just a big lump up top, and then the goalkeeper goes for a walk, and then he just like watches hopelessly as the ball goes over his head. So that happened 3 times. Paul Robinson versus Ben Foster, Tim Howard versus Adam Bogdan, and Asmir Begovic versus Artur Boruc. So those 3 goals for that Ben Foster, Bogdan, and Boruc conceded, those are my number 10. Number 9, I've got Morten Gamst Pedersen's dive against Arsenal. The dude was clean through on goal. Why he thought a shot wasn't a good idea, I still don't know. He's already passed the last defender, but he's just running into the box, looks back at the ref, and there's like a good 3-4 yards between him and the last defender, and then he just hits the deck. And I don't know what he thought was going to happen, but the ball just rolled out for a goal kick. So he needs to, work on his acting abilities there. Number 8, I've got Santiago Virgini's own goal versus Southampton.
That was a banger.
That was, if a striker made that finish, that's probably like one of their top 10 finishes of all time. Southampton are attacking somehow, some way. There's a looping ball that comes in, and what Virginia was doing, I have no idea. His body shape was all wrong. He was facing the wrong way, but with all the accuracy of like peak Pele, he just volleys, hammers that thing into the bottom corner. There's a lovely curve on it, but he must have forgot which team he was playing for. So that's Santiago Virginia's own goal. Number 7, I've got Robert Pires' penalty against Man City. Like Nav said, 1-0 up versus City. They tried to do that cheeky flick. The flick didn't come off. Pires and Henry are just looking at each other like, what's going on? And then the ref just like, screw you guys, free kick to Manchester City. Number 6, I have Kieran Dyer versus Lee Bowyer. So Newcastle are already 3-0 down, already have 10 men because Stephen Taylor handballed him and acted like he got shot. And then in the middle of a match, Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer think it's a good time to sort their differences out. You can read the stories about this. Dyer's like done a couple of interviews on it, but apparently Dyer wasn't passing the ball enough to Bowyer, and then Bowyer just had a scrap. He looked like he came out of it worse, didn't he? Because Bowyer was crying and he had this t-shirt with. And then Kieran Dyer was like, he looked more calm and composed. But 3-0 down, already got a red card, and your own teammates are fighting on the pitch. I mean, that's not a pretty look for a team. That's not a pretty look for a team.
How do you guys want to put this together? Because we got a goalkeeper scoring a goal, Chris Kamara, and we've got Kante's slip.
We can't do Kante like that.
Yeah, because I was thinking like there's a better slip that we could include, later on.
Very true.
So
funny thing is as well as the goalkeepers scoring goals is actually on my list as well. It's just a bit higher up than where you guys put it.
Yeah. Same. I put Paul Robinson's goal at number 3. So
number 3.
I rate it really highly, man. I was like, what? The wind just propelled it over. It took the lucky bounce over Foster's head. Oh, yeah, man. So
Chris Kamara didn't really happen on the pitch, though, did it?
Yeah, so that's why I put my number 10. Like. Yeah.
I mean, technically,
he's not
in the stadium, but now you can't say that. All right, so I guess through process of elimination, we're going with goalkeeper kicks. But can we? Is there? Because I'm just trying to think. Like, we need to have one specific moment. I don't mind swapping Paul Robinson if you think there's other better like goalkeeper scoring goals.
I'd put them all together, but maybe Asmir Begovic just because it's the longest. Like he got a game.
He was basically right on the 6-yard box.
It was practically a goal kick.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Cool. So number 10, we've got Begovic's goal. So just to recap audiences, in 9th, I've put down Darren Bent's beach volleyball goal. Who have you got?
So I got Gerard Slip, so maybe a bit biased there, but it happened to me once, so I put it at number 9.
Why Liverpool
my
get
number 9
in this podcast?
It's a legendary moment, man. Has to be done. My number 9, Suarez having a bit of a nibble. Suarez bites. Just a bit of a nibble on Ivanovic. Nothing major. Just a bit of a nibble.
Morten Gams Pedersen's dive against Arsenal.
Okay, interesting.
Legendary behaviour.
I was going to say, we're going to probably, with Lewis, your one, Gerard Slip is going to be higher on everyone's list. So
yeah,
I think that needs to, that's eliminated.
Oh, yeah, he definitely never did it again.
So, yeah, I've got Morten Gams Pedersen's dive against Arsenal. You guys are putting me in a tough position here. I have to choose either like Leonardo DiCaprio's acting or 2 moments against Liverpool. So, what do you guys want me to say? I'll probably say Darren. I hate you guys so much. Darren Bent's beach ball, but only because Suarez might be worthy of a higher place, which isn't a good thing. So I'd go.
Why is there so many Liverpool moments in this? That's the funny.
Just because we've got a lot of Liverpool fans in here, but that has nothing to do with me.
just the bad luck Liverpool had, man. Imagine if we didn't have all these scenarios happening, man. We would have like at least one Premier League title by now.
At least one.
Like Gerrard slip. That cost us the title.
I'm gonna go in on that a bit further as well because that's actually hilarious. Cupcakes, I think Rahat's actually dead.
Okay. So yeah, I'm in a difficult position here with having to choose between two Liverpool incidents and the dive. I feel like the Suarez bite is going to feature a bit higher up on the list. So for that, it's a toss-up between the dive and the beach ball. And if I'm honest, it's probably the beach ball that's going to go number 9. So I'd say down bench. But just a note, whoever threw the beach ball on, screw you. You know, you doomed us that day. Yeah, that's my number 9.
The beach ball is hilarious. Like, it's banter, but it's not like top class banter. So, although it's still pretty high banter. But yes, I'd say 9 straight.
For 8th.
I got the Pires penalty at 7. So for 8, I've got Santiago Bugini's own goal. The striker's finish from a defender.
I believe my 8 was the beach ball, so that's sort of point now.
So my 8 was like goalkeeping mistakes, like especially Manuel Almunia. So like he's got a lot of gaffes from his Arsenal days.
Mike,
he just fumbled the ball. Yeah.
But that's like the most Arsenal fan I can think of though. Like poor goalkeepers. Now they mention it, like they really haven't had a lot of good luck in that department, have they? Like Chesney, Almunia, like Shaq when he went there was just questionable. Fabianski, and I feel like every time a keeper leaves Arsenal, they go on and become like an actual decent keeper. Like that remains to be seen, anyways. But yeah, I would have argued for the number 8 spot, maybe John Terry and Wayne Bridge to maybe sneak in there, because they're legends and the story's just hilarious and funny.
Keep it on the pitch. Keep it on the pitch.
Well, I feel like it came on the pitch because, like, you know, everyone sort of like knew about it and talked about it, and like they sort of fell out on and off the pitch. So I feel like it would be
handshake, right? The handshake was probably the on the pitch moment. You could argue, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Wayne Bridge did not shake his hand when he faced him against City, innit? So yeah, I guess it did sort of like culminate in that. And plus, it's just sort of like a thing you try and avoid doing, like, you know, getting into situations with like teammates or friends, girlfriends / wives. But hey, John Terry moves different, man. There are no rules for him. So yeah, there we are.
So we've got in our 8th position Almunia's mistakes, Santiago against Southampton.
Virginie. Brilliant strike.
Pires and Henry, and then John Terry and Wayne Bridge. Taking mine one out, Lewis's one was quite interesting. Almunia's goalkeeper mistakes. I don't think many of us really too much thought about that, but goalkeeping mistakes I think is quite a crucial one because he's like conceded so many goals, and it's not just Almunia when you think about it. There's De Gea, Hugo Lloris, another keepers that have made huge mistakes.
Lloris has had some gems this season.
Too many to count.
Yeah.
And then Mike's one is interesting, but I just feel with you on Mike. I know it's a lot off. I know you're saying the handshake was probably the crucial, but if we're going basically on the on field, I have to take that one out just for this one.
That makes sense.
But so it's between
drama sort of happened up the pitch with that one.
Yeah, that's the only reason. So it's between Rahat's chosen one with the wonder strike or Lewis's point with the Almunia's mistakes. Where are you going, Mike, with this one?
Number 7, yeah. Number 8.
No, number 8.
No, between Santiago Bugini and Manuel Almunia's entire career.
Definitely Virginie, because that goal was. If he scores that on the other end of the pitch, that's probably goal of the season. So like, just
It
just the
probably is, isn't it?
yeah, like just the strike, just how clean it was, and just the fact that it was just hit so well. Yeah, I feel like it has to be Reggie. Like he seemed quite disappointed to score an own goal, but like if you're ever gonna score an own goal, let it be that own goal.
So
Yeah, so I can't remember who was driving the ball for Southampton, but you've got the Sunderland. He was Sunderland Virginia played for Sunderland, I think. Or it was some team in blue, but they're all camped on the 18-yard box on the line of it. There's no one in his box, so the ball took a deflection somewhere, and it came to him. He was kind of in that right back position. So if you imagine like the right central half in that area. And I assume he went to go clear it, but generally when you clear it, it wasn't really a ball that was kind of meant to be hit with this right foot. And if it was, you kind of want to hit it with the outside of your right foot. So when you're hitting it with the outside of your right foot, you kind of angle your right foot towards the outside because you want it away from his net. But then if you look at the motion of his leg, his travel towards his goal. And unfortunately for him, the ball also traveled towards his goal and nestled itself in there. It was a lovely finish, for a first-time volley. He didn't have much time to set himself, but got his feet ready. Lovely, clean strike of the ball as well. But a nice little bit of curve on it as well. Keeper had no chance. And yeah, one of the own goals of the season.
Cool. So we've gone, I guess, Santiago Virginia in the 8th position. So my 7th was Mike Dean celebrating when Spurs scored. You don't really see refs doing that, and the fact that he had his 2 hands like that running across the pitch. And I think in general he's like a real football fan, and he supports the lower league teams and one of the lower league teams, and so he has a real passion for the game. And I think refs don't really get noticed, but I think he was a real funny guy. Lewis, we'll start with you. Who is your 7th?
Torres versus, I think it was De Gea. When Torres did the hard bit, he went around De Gea, and then for some reason he didn't want to score the goal. He didn't want to get that goal bonus. He didn't want that extra bonus for scoring a goal. He decided to hit it wide. So Torres, the £50 million striker from Liverpool to Chelsea, and then it was all he had to do was tap it in, and then he would have got his goal bonus. He would have scored a goal, but then he just mishit it, and then it was paid off by I think it was the Man United team. They were paid, and then who knows, man? But he just missed his chance, man.
I was gonna add it was so many things leading up to that. There's when Torres, I think Torres was obviously when everyone had so many high expectations, him and Drogba were going to do this crazy partnership. And then you look at there were so many chances Torres missed throughout his career and not scoring enough goals. And then to have something like that, that must have, I don't know how confidence must be a huge thing for footballers. What do you think, Lewis, about that?
Yeah.
Do you think he was destroyed after that?
Social
media was there now.
So I was gonna go into that a bit more as well. With the Torres fan, it's sort of like a culmination of a lot of things. Because after he came in, he was a bit injured at the start, so he couldn't even play. And then he gone through a couple of games where he was just snatching up things that wasn't quite working for him. So come the United game, and we're trying to come back into the game. I think it's 3-1 at the time, or
3-1, yeah.
So he does everything right. It's sort of slow motion. He goes through, step over, goes past David De Gea, and at that moment we're oh yeah, this is the Torres we've all been waiting for. And then as soon as he hits it and it doesn't go into the net, it's not the world stopped for just a brief second. We're he's actually missed it. And sort of that miss sort of haunted him for almost the entire time he was at Chelsea up until he scored that goal against Barcelona. I would say that's sort of when a lot of the Chelsea fans sort of began to really love him and overlook a lot of all that come before then. Up until then, it was the miss and the 50 million, but right after he scored against Barcelona, all was forgiven, and then Torres sort of became like a legend.
Do you remember he already scored in that game? Do you remember he already scored in that game?
Yeah, he had already
chip
scored in that game, and it was like brilliant. So like, we was just trying to think, oh yeah, this is the Torres right up until the mess, innit? And then it was so like, oh no, how has he done this? And then the disappointment
I've
set
got
in.
that higher up on my list.
Yeah,
So,
like
I don't know if you want to
that's
say
pretty high
that
up for
or...
me as well.
Yeah, I've got a higher up.
Just because, that's like legendary for all the wrong reasons.
I think we can. We need to include some Arsenal moments. You know, they've had some comedy.
Oh, trust me, the Arsenal moments are coming, but yeah, I suppose there can't be too many Arsenal moments. Just throw them in there. Just because that's like supposed to be like the best squad as well, you know, the Torres Henry days as well, back when everything there was such and was turned to gold.
Cool.
And then it's like
Torres and Henry penalty in 7th position. So number 6, I've got Mourinho v Wenger. I think this was like the boiling point for these two coaches. Like, if there was like a Royal Rumble, WrestleMania main event, that was it on that day. Like these two fighting was like one of the craziest fights.
scenes, that was just brilliant.
Like pushing each other, knocking each other off. That was one of the most funniest things you'll ever see. And like, I think if it had gone any further, Wenger, I think might have done something. But then,
I think Wenger was fully about to start swinging, you know, because like he was tired of getting all that banter from Mourinho, and Mourinho was just lobbing it at him.
Wenger would
I
have.
was surprised because I mean, if you look at Mourinho as well, like he looked so shocked. Like I wasn't really expecting Wenger to like actually full on like go on there. It was like, yo, get away from my technical area and all that, innit? So like, it was so like hilarious sort of thing. And like I think like Wenger's like the last manager you'd expect to like sort of like actually want to square up with someone, because like it sort of like seems like it's like old, calm, geriatric sort of done was like not really trying to beef with anyone. And then just to see him actually like square up with someone, like, yo, bring the smoke, man. What are you trying to do? That was hilarious to me. Legendary moment that was.
Mine is Kieran Dyer versus Lee Bowyer. That famous Newcastle fight. 3-0 down already, 10 men. And to see your own team fighting like that, I mean, that's probably a Newcastle fan's number one, you know. I don't know how you get over your own team having a fight in the middle. Imagine like having a fight with your own. Like you'd never seen that before. You'd just never seen that before. That your own team spontaneously combust and to fight while you're 3-0 down as well. It's just that must have been such a shameful like day for Newcastle fans. So just the gravity of that situation, I'd go with that one.
Lewis, who's your number 6?
Yeah. So I did Gareth Bale's own goal against Liverpool. So it was a corner kick. Liverpool took it in. So I think it was John Joe Shelby crossed it in. The ball was ricocheted, and then it went to I think it was going towards the goal, and then Aaron Lennon by the post, he headed it away or kicked it away, and then just in front of him was Gareth Bale, and then so Lennon hit it and then bounced off Bale and then back into his own net.
Smashed off his face, like almost knocks him out with how hard that ball was. It's tragic, hilarious, though. Yeah. Really funny.
It was a massive gap, especially. But I think Bale got his revenge. Like Liverpool Champions League, no more words to say, man.
Hey,
against Liverpool.
Shout out to Carrius.
Why would you do that?
No, but that bicycle
because he's an honest fan, man. It's a bicycle. How many people score a bicycle kick in a Champions League final?
Yeah.
I feel like there's some really tough choices. We got like 2 like top tier fights, and then an absolutely embarrassing moment as well for like top.
Harris is back at Liverpool, right?
Yeah, his contract got cancelled.
They terminated his loan. Or he terminated it.
Yeah, because they weren't paying the done, innit?
Probably for good reason.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
So, trying to put things into perspective. So, Mike, we'll take your Mourinho off the field event. We'll add
Yeah, definitely
Mourinho's
off the field.
fight with Wenger. We've got Newcastle's fight with, the Newcastle fight. We've got Gareth Bale's own goal. I'm more inclined to put in a fight in this one. I think we do need to include it somehow.
I would go for
Own goals.
Nas's one personally, just because that was like a legendary moment. And when else are you going to see two managers on the touchline almost coming to blows? Like that's actually like
What's
top
more
stuff.
rare? Two managers going or two of the same team?
Like I feel like there's more of a chance of two of the same team players fighting on the pitch than opposing managers fighting on a touchline. Like I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I don't think managers are like the type to just go and square up to another done and
Because
like just
the only thing I was going to add is with the managers, right? They have the box where they can't.
they got like the technical areas, isn't it?
Yeah, technically that's it.
Yeah, but which manager respects the technical area? You see all of them but just do whatever they want.
They do sort of do whatever they want, to be fair.
Especially if it's
like run up on false officials. Well, Mourinho actually has Mourinho has a sort of like a thing with like just running out of his technical area like at any given time in a match. I can remember this season as well against City, where like they gave a penalty. Was it? Oh no! Like when Sterling dived when Tottenham versus Man City, and then they thought it should have been like another yellow card for Sterling. So he's gone sat down. And his assistant's like, yo, that should have been a second yellow, and then he just like storms up the
Didn't he get his water out? He's like having water
to go harass like fourth official.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mourinho is always like sort of like playing fast and loose with his technical area types. So he does have a sort of reputation for that. So if I had to pick one, I'd go with Nas as well, with Mourinho personally, but that's just my opinion.
Lewis, who are you going with?
Nas. I just want to say, Mike, you convinced me. I'd go with Nas as well.
Okay. Let's go with Mourinho and Wenger fighting each other out.
So hopefully one day we can get a rematch, see what happens.
So we're now jumping on to positions 5 to position 1. And so for me, I've from position 5, I've got Adebayor's celebration against Arsenal, where he ran across the pitch celebrating and everyone chucked their lunch.
Legendary moment.
Yeah, that was
legendary.
I've got Phil Jones' face meme. So it was a C, and Aguero scored, and then you've seen it all over the internet. I'll put it in as a B-roll in this clip where his face is like this. Let's try and do his face. Yeah. That was so off time. And then to number 3, I put Torres open goal miss. I think that's where it lasts. Number 1 and 2, I think we should leave out because I think we can talk about it then.
Hear
what we say. But those are my 5 to 3. What's yours? We'll start off with you, Mike.
So my number 5 would be the keepers ones, which we've already discussed. I feel like it's just like a very embarrassing thing as a keeper to have another keeper score against you. Like that really should not be happening in any scenario or circumstance. But like I had like the Boruc Bogdan because like it's basically the same kind of goal. Like they see the flight of the ball all the way through, and at no point do they think, you know what, maybe I should take a couple of steps back just so this ball doesn't loop over my head and leave me looking like an embarrassed plump. So yeah, that would be my number 5, just because I feel like no goalkeeper should have that happen to them. It's just unacceptable behavior. And then my number 4 is also another Arsenal thing. It's the 8-2 Arsenal versus United.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I feel like that was the second game of the season, and then United just like ran circles against Arsenal, and it's sort of embarrassing, really. Like you should never really concede 8 goals as a Premier League club, especially not when you're like one of the big 4 or at that time clubs in it. So that was a bit diabolical. That was like United fans will never let Arsenal forget about it. I mean, they shouldn't really, to be fair.
I'd hate to be an Arsenal fan.
Not to mention Arsenal has just been getting slapped up like with so many like large scorelines over the year. 6-0 from Chelsea, Bayern games, City games, Liverpool games. You just get slapped up so many other times. And then my number 3 would be Liverpool last season. Bit of a cop out, but it's not like a cumulative thing. So like only losing one game and still not winning the league, I feel like it's a big gaffe on their ends. Because like
Allow you,
I don't
Mike. Allow you.
I don't think like anyone else would only lose one game and not win the league. I feel like that is more of an indictment on Liverpool than it is the thing for Man City, if you know what I mean. I feel like there's no excuse to only lose one game and not win the league. Like that is just unacceptable behavior. So you lot need to be reprimanded for that one. So I stuck you in there. So yeah, that's
Go,
my
Mike. You're never coming back on the podcast again.
Yeah.
You keep bringing too many
with the rest of my
anti-Liverpool.
time here. Yeah, that's my life to truth.
Yo, my 5-3. My number 5 is actually a transfer. It's a Liverpool one. 35 million for Andy Carroll. Who, where, what, why, how, why? Please, someone explain why this went through. 35 million for Andy Carroll. It was only his first half season in the Prem. He scored like 11 goals. But I mean, come on. We just sold Torres. We got Suarez in. We didn't know he'd be the great biter he was. But Andy Carroll, 6 goals in 44 appearances across 3 seasons. I'm like, yeah, he scored that one goal in the final. I can't get over like that one transfer making me so sad to be a Liverpool fan for a long time. Like, you used to wake up on game day and be like, oh man, I can't wait to see my team play. But then I'd think like Carroll was playing. I was just like, why would I want to look forward to that? Number 4, I've got Vincent Kompany's own goal against, I think it might have been Fulham. It was a low ball in, coming in from the attacking team's right, so City's left. And he shaped well to hit it with his left foot. But for whatever reason, he managed this incredible chip that went behind him, looped to Joe Hart, and then off the crossbar and in. He did the customary look at the ground celebration after he scored that, blaming the bobble. Sometimes like ball physics just doesn't even make sense. Number 3, I've got Fernando Torres' miss with Manchester United. I know we've discussed it before, but this guy was getting a lot of stick at the time for, selling out 50 million, going to Chelsea, not doing well. He could have really done with it. And he already scored one amazing chip against De Gea like 5 minutes before. So, you tell me, Naz and Mike, you're looking at him, you're like, wow, this is the 50 million guy we signed. He goes round De Gea, does the easy bit, makes De Gea look like a fool, and then he makes himself look like a fool. It's very, it's hard to watch that. It's hard to watch that because, like,
Really?
you see a guy, he's so excited to like get back in his groove, and then you just see him demolished. And he was at Old Trafford as well. Imagine missing the fit at Old Trafford.
Like,
oh my God.
Aguero levels.
Maybe, but the Old Trafford fans give him such a heckling for that. That's my 5-3.
Yeah.
Lewis?
So my 5-3, I've got another transfer at 5. So Arsenal's bid of 35 million and £1 for Luis Suarez, because reportedly there was
40 million.
Yeah, 40 million £1. Sorry, yeah, my bad. So apparently there's a release clause for Luis Suarez of 40 million, and then Arsenal decided to see whether that's true or not, and then they put a bid of 40 million £1. I don't know what was going through their minds, but they thought a 40 million bid and £1 would make the deal. I don't know what was going through Arsenal's like transfers at the moment at that time, but it got rejected, and now he's doing his own bits, man. Like Barcelona, Liverpool, man. That's crazy.
I believe the clause was sort of if a bid of over 40 million came in for Suarez, Liverpool had to notify Suarez that a bid was on the table. but it didn't necessarily mean they had to accept the bid. So I feel like if Arsenal had put in like a proper bid, like they would have been able to negotiate. But because they were sort of like taking the mickey out of them, like Liverpool, like, yeah, we're just not coming to the table on this one. And it's funny as well because Suarez did actually want to go to Arsenal, of which that would probably have been terrifying having him in there. But like, luckily he decided to stay in Liverpool and nothing came from it. So yeah, happy days.
Happy days.
Yeah,
Who are
the
you,
other one?
Number 4, I got Company versus Fulham. So like Rahat said, like with the slicing of the football, and it goes back. I think it goes over the goalkeeper, and it just slices over the goalkeeper and straight back into the net. So that put that number 4, and then number 3 was the beach ball. So like it was higher. It was earlier in the podcast, but when the beach ball turned up in the Sunderland game, then the ball hit the beach ball, and then I think it was Rain and Glenn Johnson thinking, "What just happened?" and then they both of them were like, "What just happened?" And they're looking to the refs, thinking there should be some like free kick or something for them. And then I think it's the referee just said, pointing it back to the centre spot, saying, "That's a goal. Start the game again."
Because we said in the podcast earlier that it's a hard one because I want to include those transfer, but we did say like because we took out the Wayne Bridge one,
Yeah. I got
and
that.
we said we couldn't include
Like
that, so I don't think it would be fair.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be
Yeah.
fair just to take Mike's out. So we'll have to take the transfers out, but those are really good ones. We maybe should do a podcast with the funniest transfers.
Yeah.
So between who's the goalkeeper, Mike? You were saying?
I believe the goalkeepers were they mentioned early on.
Yeah, we've already got Adebayor.
I feel like we've already like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like Nas wins by default on this one.
Yeah.
So
I'm calm with
Adebayor's
that. I'm calm with that.
Adebayor's
Adebayor's legendary celebration.
That was
Legendary.
actually legendary as well, man. Just like the best, just like the natural spice in it to like just like run the length of the field, just so you can celebrate in your opposition's face.
What
And
did
after like
Arsenal do
all,
to him?
yeah,
What did
especially like
Arsenal do
after
to him?
all he'd done for them as well. I was just like, just
There was no
unnecessary.
actual beef. Like he just like he went crazy. I still remember his hair flying everywhere. It's got
It's ridiculous.
Naz.
Oh,
Can I say for number four, could Arsenal have such a good history of finishing fourth place? We should give this fourth place trophy to them. Mike, was it your Arsenal? You put Arsenal.
Yeah, my number 4 was Arsenal with the 8-2. It's like getting slapped up.
Just so then we keep things like, you know, a little bit of metaverse there. We put Arsenal fourth, where they always are, you know.
Then again, when's the last time Arsenal actually managed to finish fourth?
I know they'd love to finish fourth now. I'll tell you that.
Cool. So number 3, who are you guys gonna put forward? I'm gonna have to say because I'm interested in the company on goal, because you're never gonna see something like that, and he's such a world-class player. And I was watching; it was against Fulham, and I was watching. I don't know who crossed it in, but it was from that side. I'm really inclined to put Company's goal in, but then Torres is missed. Like you have to put it in somehow. Like that would never be forgotten. And there's like, so even if Torres like won a World Cup or wins like another Euro or wins the Japanese League or something like that there's still it's in a player's career that you'll always be remembered. You know.
Yeah.
Sad as it is, that's how it's gonna be. Like, I don't know. For me, I've got to put Torres' goal in that position. What about you guys? Is there anyone different you want to chuck in?
My number 3 was so on the field and off the field. So it was Liverpool only losing one game, not winning the league. I feel like that's just like has to represent everything Liverpool really. In that like they can come so close and be so far so many times, but like obviously like this season, like even like with the Corona thing as well, like come so close and then like. Yeah, like you guys just like can't actually finish off. Although I think the season will end now, so at least there's that. But yeah, it's not like it just encapsulates like the whole meaning behind Liverpool of like, you know, maybe it's this year or the next year or the year after that, and like it's coming so close and not actually quite getting it. It's just like, it's actually unbelievable. Some would say it's more that City were brilliant, but I would say Liverpool, like, if you're 8 points clear at Christmas, you have to win the league, in my opinion. And like, just losing one game to City and then just bottling it from there is unacceptable to me. So yeah, I would say that should be number 3 personally.
Oh, I'll defend Liverpool fans. Only once. This is the only thing I'll say is United lost the league on goal difference. That's even worse.
True.
That's the only thing I could defend. It's like, I know they've won the league, like, and it doesn't matter.
Though, losing on goal difference or only losing one game all season long, like you're that close to, it's basically like being undefeated and still not winning the league. Like, it's just unacceptable behavior, personally.
I always said that Liverpool were going to be the first team to go undefeated and come second. We were putting out that kind of vibe that season. But I went with Naz's pick. Torres is missed versus Manchester United. The guy really needed a break. He just needed something to go. What he needed was Vincent Kompany's luck. He just needed like touch the ball in some weird way that it went in and he got a goal. And he just couldn't get it. He just could. It's like, it is really a career-defining miss. And like you said, up until that Barcelona goal, that's all people remembered him for at Chelsea. And we're still talking about it today. So hopefully Liverpool wash away the memories of last season with this season. But nothing's going to wash down Torres. If it continues, if it continues. But nothing's going to wash away Torres' miss. Nothing like, not even if he did the same move against De Gea and scored, will it wash away the pattern that he missed? You know.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Lewis, what about you? You're
gonna? Originally I went for like the beach ball, and then it went lower up in the thing. But I like Rahat's like argument of Torres and missing the open goal, how career defining it was, and how he's probably remembered now to this day about that open goal miss. That if he scored that, everything could have changed. He could have been. That could have boosted his confidence up. He could have been scoring like 20 goals, 30 goals for a season for Chelsea. But ultimately, he missed it, and then it could have affected him badly, man. And then, so I'll have to go with Torres' miss against De Gea. Yeah.
That's in number 3.
He'll always have the Barcelona moment, though. So don't worry, Nazar, Mike. He gets his time.
We're coming to you. We're going to get you back in number 1 and 2. Number 2 for me, I have to put Tottenham in. The 2015-16 season when Leicester won the league. I feel like we haven't mentioned Tottenham enough on this. They've cocked it up they've cocked it up worse than Arsenal. At least with Arsenal, like you can be a bit more like, I don't know, understandable in some ways. Like, they're going through that financial struggle and new stadium and building and things like that. But like, I don't know what excuse Tottenham had. Like, they had this upcoming new team. They had these like really nice players. Kane, Dele Alli. It was all even Victor Wanyama was a beast. I really like that player. I don't know what's happened to him. He's gone off the world. But then Moussa Dembele. So they had this like really, really solid team, and then the amount of times they've cocked it up. It's just hilarious. Like the fact they came so close to winning the league. They were even in certain Christmases as well. Like they were in first position. Either close or first position, and then they somehow managed to cock it up. And it's not just like one thing that they've messed up. There's so many cock-ups they've done, like in the FA Cups. But focusing on the Premier League, like they thought they could hold on with Leicester. And then Chelsea had to spoil the pie, There was... If you guys go back and watch that game, it was such a violent game. There were so many yellow cards given out when it was the 2-2 game. And you just think, like, they're going to do it. They're going to eventually do it. 1961 was when they last won the league, and they're going to try and salvage something. But nope, never again. And I even in the Champions League, like all of them were getting so gassed about it. They were going to beat Liverpool, and then like the first minute come and Salah gets a penalty, and it's like over. You know what I mean? Like there's so many memorable moments. But yeah, Tottenham. So essentially, what happened was they were basically second place, and then somehow they finished third, and Arsenal became second in the 2016.
Yeah, that was funny.
Your words, Naz, were Tottenham finishing third in a two-horse race.
Exactly.
That was the word you used.
Yeah, I couldn't put any better, man. You said it better than me. So that's Tottenham doing that. That's my second position. And of course, the Gerrard slip. I don't know how many of us are going to argue.
Let me describe that one, okay? Just leave that for me. Yeah.
All right.
Carry on, guys.
Yeah, so my
That's
number 2 was the Torres miss, just because I'm a Chelsea fan, and that one hurt so much at the time. Because like I was sat in my living room with my brother, who's a United fan, and like as soon as he goes down the keeper, I just knew, oh yeah, this is it. We're about to equalize, and then like once he puts that in, we're gonna get an equalize, and then it goes wide, and I was just done. And that sort of haunted him for the rest of his Chelsea career. I will say though, the Barcelona goal does make us like forget a lot about that, but still, it's still there. Like in certain places, like round about when that happened, and like if you were playing football with your mates and you missed a sitter, people were calling you Torres. So like it was sort of like that sort of influential in like football culture at the time. And then my number 1 was basically the Gerrard slip, because like, I mean, you just couldn't write write that song.
Let me describe it.
So I'll leave that one for Rahat to sort of like tackle. And then, those are my 2, the Torres slip and then the Gerrard slip. So my top 2 sort of slip heavy.
So for number 2, I've got Tony Popovic, who I think has scored the best own goal in the history of own goals ever.
Wasn't that the sort of like,
so there was a goal. It was against
Scorpion
Portsmouth.
kick.
Oh, it was a nice goal.
Yeah. So some dude called Steve Stone whipped in across from the right, and as Tony Popovic is running towards his byline, he kind of just flicks it behind him, and it's kind of like a freestyle flick. It's like he's not really trying, just like sticks a leg out, flicks it, and it just swivels marvelously into his own net. His own goalkeeper didn't move an inch. Like everybody's breath just stood still. To think that he could score such a good goal, but unfortunately it was for his own net. Now, number 1, let me get in my feelings here for a second. Right? Everybody just sit back, relax.
Get the popcorn, boys. Oh yeah, we're fast.
Get the popcorn. I'm gonna be in my feelings right now. Yeah, you know, Kiki, do you love me and all that. That season, man. I was just like, we can do it now. We can do it. As a Liverpool fan, you don't talk trash just because Liverpool are going to lose somewhere along the way and they're going to make you look bad. This was probably the first season I ever trash talked as a Liverpool fan. I was just like, Suarez is going to do it. Sturridge is going to do it. Sterling, Coutinho. I was even like, yeah, John Flanagan is going to be like in the Ballon d'Or for the best fullback. I was just like, nothing can go wrong now. And then when we beat City with a Coutinho last-minute goal, I'm just like, what's going to happen now? Nothing can stop us. We got Chelsea at home. Then we had Crystal Palace, which is another story in itself. And then we had some bum team at the end. So come the Chelsea day, I remember that I was there, like, you know, in my Liverpool kit and everything, and just seeing it. And I wasn't actually watching the game at the time. I was following it on my live stream. And then when the news starts coming in, I'm just like, I can't believe it. I'm just like, surely there's got to be some sort of typo here. Surely, I can't believe, what I'm reading can't have actually happened. That Gerrard slipped in the middle of the pitch, and then Dembaba just come and race through. I'm just like, I didn't watch football for like 4 months. I didn't watch the highlights of that game for another 2 months after that. It was only until, like, say the game happened in May, I only watched the highlights in August of that game. It took me that long to, like, come to terms with everything that. And then I started crying again. I was just like, for it to be Steven Gerrard as well. Like, if it was Martin Skirtle or Daniel Agger, nobody really cared. But for it to be Steven Gerrard, the captain who never lifted the Premier League trophy, for it to be him of all places, after he did the we can't slip team talk
Can't let this
against
slip.
but you know, for it to be Steven Gerrard, and he has to live with that for the rest of his life. Like he can't, even if he comes back as a manager, does invincible and wins 38 games, that can't erase the slip. That like.
Just to add a bit more context to that, like you said, like in the fixture before that, I think Liverpool, like last minute winner, Coutinho, Gerrard sort of like gathers all the players on the pitch after the game. It's like giving like a team talk saying that we do not slip now, we do not let this slip now, and then taking it on to the next game versus Chelsea. Chelsea had a Champions League semi-final against, I believe it was Atletico Madrid. So Mourinho basically turned up with like a whole second squad, like Demba top. Like we basically had Thomas Callas playing, and like so many like non-first team players.
Salah was playing actually.
Yeah, like Salah was playing. Like it was like a makeshift squad basically. It's like when everyone saw the starting lineup, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Liverpool's got to win this." Like, I mean, Chelsea, like they're just focusing on the Champions League at this point. So then come like the 45th minute or whatever it was, like Gerrard just gets the ball and acres of space. No worries. Like he's trying to spin on a turn and like play a pass, and on the spin he just loses his footing. And like the last person you expect, Demba just snips in, and he just long legs, so spry, just like nicks in, tucks the ball past. Can't remember. I think
Mindele.
Like a brilliant pass, and then it was just brilliantly done. And then just to compound things, Torres goes through in like the 90th minutes. I thought he would score on himself, but then he went on and scored to
I
Williams.
respect Torres a lot for not scoring in that scenario.
So
I respect him a lot for passing. Like he could have scored, and I would have been like, "Oh yeah, Torres finally scored against Liverpool." But he squared it to William, and then he gets it. So, like,
William does the business. But just it's basically the irony of it all. Like from saying like we do not slip now to literally slipping now is you just can't write that sort of thing. Like everyone in the world felt sorry for him, but at the same time, it was bloody hilarious to like just watch how everything sort of like capitulated for him. So yeah, that was class. That was. So yeah.
I think I was gonna say Mourinho parked the bus. There was such a big team, and
you remember they were time wasting a lot as well. Like from the second minute, Ashley Cole was taking like 4 minutes to throw the ball back in. And
but that's Mourinho's style, you know. That's that.
Yeah, and then Chelsea already beat us in the FA Cup final. I think that. No, that was.
I think it was a different year, no?
Yeah, that was a different year.
Because I'm looking at a picture of it now. But I'm still in my feelings about that, man. I can't watch it. It's too painful. Like for it to happen to Steven Gerrard, like you wonder, like why is he the deepest midfielder? Like what happened to centre backs?
Yeah.
But
anyways, I was gonna add, how come you put Gerrard lower in your list? Was it because of the pain?
Yeah, it was the pain. It was also it happened to me like once I had difficult kind of like lost the ball. I was the last man defending. No, not really, man. I just lost the ball when I was the last man defending, and then the attacker just like Demba Ba, man, just would bear down in the goal and just strike it in, man. So too many hurtful memories, man.
So since we've got number one sorted, which is a funny way of sorting things out, we should try and get number two. So mine, just to recap, so mine is Tottenham, finishing third in a 2-horse race. Mike, do you want to just recap audiences who yours are?
My number 2 was the Torres miss, because that one hit a bit too close to home, and it's still hard to this day. You're
Mine is Tony Popovic's best own goal ever.
That's probably one of the best goals ever.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, if I had to pick, it would be the own goal, just because it was such a brilliant goal.
It was off his foot, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally when I watched it, I didn't even realize that was an own goal. Like it was such a brilliant finish, and like it comes off the bar as well. So like the keeper literally has no chance.
Yeah.
Like just like the technique of it is just brilliant. Obviously, he never meant it, but like I like to think like deep down he's always been wanting to score a goal like that. And that was like the only chance he saw of like getting it done. So like he just had to take it.
He saw his chance and he took it.
Yeah, like his name will go down in history forever for that goal. So
It
why
will.
not?
I mean, it's a very good goal. Like, it's a classy flick off the heel. Completely dumbfounded his keeper.
Yeah, like he was Giroud before Giroud was Giroud.
He was. That goal should have been nominated for the Puskas Award.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our 10, and I'm going to go through it now. So Begovic's goal from the goal kick, the beach volleyball. Begovic's goal in number 10. The beach volleyball scored by Darren Bent, number 9. Santia, you have to guys help me out with this one.
Santiago
Virgini, number 8 versus Southampton. The number 7 is Perez and Henry penalty mix-up. Number 6 is Mourinho versus Wenger fight. Number 5 is Adebayor's goal celebration against Arsenal. Number 4, because Arsenal come fourth, 8-2 against United. Number 3 is Torres' miss against De Gea. Number 2 is Tony P's own goal. And number 1.
Don't say it out loud.
Let's not let this slip, guys.
We do not slip now.
We do not slip now. Gerard at number 1. Thank you guys for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you'd like Mike on for a part 2 of this.
Big up to Magic Mike, yo.
Yeah, big up Mike, man. Thank you for
Thanks
coming
for
on.
having me, lads. It was a bloody pleasure.